Hey guys, good morning. It is Monday and I put a new assignment up and I just want to briefly go over it, okay? So on Google Classroom at the top, you will see the directions and or the lesson for what's called the land art project. That's our new project, okay? So if you want to go ahead and open up these slides, I'll go ahead and open them right now. And it's going to show you what land art is, what you're expected to do, and so on, okay? So kind of look through these, give it a second. And this is going to be, your project is to create a work of art using items you find out in nature, and it will be inspired by an artist named Andy Goldsworthy, okay? Some of you may or may not have heard of him. Either way, you're gonna learn a little bit about him. So who is Andy Goldsworthy? Go ahead and read a little bit about him. Shows some of his work. There is a video right here that it's short, I think it's just a few minutes, kind of talks about who Andy Goldsworthy is. Here is another example of this is what he looks like, some of his work. And then here is a 2-minute video that shows some of his sculptures. If you click right here on this link, it'll take you to a YouTube video, 2 minutes, okay? And then this basically shows you the criteria, the expectations of this project, okay? So like I said, you will be creating artwork inspired by Andy Goldsworthy using things that you find in nature and or your backyard, okay? So the requirements are that you go outside, you find at least 50 items from nature, nothing man-made. So it could be twigs, leaves, flowers, rocks, pebbles, that kind of a thing, okay? You're going to put those together in an interesting way to create a work of art. Your design must show contrast. You should know what contrast is. That could be a contrast of colors, texture, size, or form. Your design must show rhythm, which is similar to pattern, regular repetition of a certain element, like lines, shapes, and colors, okay? Your design must have a sense of unity, meaning everything should go together in a way that kind of makes sense, okay? Your design must show that you used a good use of your time, that it wasn't just thrown together in a couple of seconds or minutes. I want to be able to look at and be able to tell that you put in effort, that you were as creative and thoughtful as you could be during this creation while making this project. You are going to, when you're done, take a photo, a good quality photo of your project. Your photo must include your ID or signature on a piece of scratch paper in the photo so I know that it's your photo and not just Googled, okay? Major requirement there. And then on this one, here's some advice about what kind of a photo to take, okay? So take a photo from what's called a bird's eye view. That means looking down at your artwork, okay? Try to get close enough to show details. Please try to not have any distracting shadows in the photo, like your silhouette or your camera, things like that, which can be tricky sometimes, especially when the sun is right above you, okay? So do the best you can about that. Don't forget to include your ID or your signature on a piece of paper in your photograph, okay? And I'll show you an example of that. It says, look at example on Google Classroom. I'll show that to you. Go on into the slides, shows some student examples I found online. There's some other teachers teaching the same project, so this is some of their student examples of what they did. Might give you some ideas what you could do. And you can just kind of look at those on your own time. And then here's some things to consider. So you can collect items from outside and bring them into your house and to create your artwork, or you can stay outside. Just be careful if it's windy or breezy outside. Your project may blow away in the wind, okay? So kind of be careful about that. If you do blow it out, I mean, if you do build it outside, like I said, it could blow away in the wind. So give yourself enough time, be conscientious about that, or bring it inside, okay? Your background, be mindful of the background. It should be pretty plain and simple in the background so that the items you put together can be seen clearly. And then I just say good luck, and I hope you enjoy this project. Okay, so let's go back to Google Classroom. So again, please look at those again on your own time. Take a little bit more time to look through those. And then below those slides, here is an example of a completed land art project. It's my example, okay? You can look at that first or this one. Either way is fine. I'm going to show you the assignment first. So I'm going to go to classwork, open up the turn-in form for your land art project, open that up. And this is where you're going to turn in your project, okay? So again, you take a photo, and it explains it right up here. Highlighted, must show your signature on paper or your ID in the photo. Please don't forget. Once you take your photo, insert it right here. Remember, you click on the box, hit insert, pull the photo from your drive or wherever you have your photo saved. Let me know if you need help with that, okay? But we should all know how to do that. Then down here, there's just a few questions I want you to answer, okay? And again, use blue font when answering these, okay? So the first one, I just kind of want to know, what was your goal? What did you want to create? Were you happy with the end results? Just kind of a reflection about what your experience was like, okay? Number two, what was challenging about this project? What was easy? Maybe you had a hard time finding items. Maybe you didn't. Tell me about it, okay? And then number three, before doing this project, had you ever thought of making art out of materials in nature? Have you ever maybe made a sandcastle at the beach or anything like that before, okay? Number four, the requirements for this project were for your creation to show contrast, rhythm, and unity, okay? This goes back to the requirements. Please explain to me how your land art creation shows these principles, okay? And again, use blue font. Then the last question, another requirement was for you to have a design that shows a good use of time, effort, creativity, and thoughtfulness. Please explain how you accomplished this, okay? So that's where you're going to basically submit your work, answer those questions, put your photo in. Let me show you my example. Let me go back to Google Classroom. And below the direction slides is my example. So you guys can look at that to get some ideas. So open that up. This is my example that I made, okay? All right, so here is what I created at my house. I went outside, I noticed a lot of bright colors in the leaves and petals, so I pulled some of those, put them together in a way that I thought was interesting. That it also shows rhythm, unity, and contrast. Remember, those are the requirements, okay? And you have to use at least 50 items, okay? That might sound like a lot, but believe me, you're probably gonna use way more than that. All right, so there's my example. I included my signature on a little piece of paper. You will also have to do that. All right, and then down here is where you answer the questions. So I'm gonna let you guys read these on your own time. Go through and kind of read what I wrote. I'm not gonna read them to you. And then at the end, I made a little note. There is no requirement for how much you have to write or how long your answer needs to be, okay? So don't look at this and think, oh my God, I have to write a lot. Not necessarily. As long as you can answer the questions well, each of them, it doesn't really matter how long, okay? Just make sure that you do fully answer the questions. Some of you might be able to do that in 2 or 3 sentences. Some of you might want to write a paragraph or two. Do whatever works for you, okay? So that is your new assignment this week. I'm going to give you guys a couple weeks because you could easily do this in one day. But I don't know what your schedule is right now, okay? So I'm giving you guys a couple of weeks to do it. But again, get it done, the sooner the better. Next week, I'll put up a new pottery video for you guys to do. And then our final project will be dry clay art we're gonna do. And then don't forget, we're gonna put together your portfolios, okay? All right, hope you guys are doing well. And email me with any questions. And good luck.